Hello everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw Nikaido from DOROHEDORO. Just so you know, there's a coloring book that you can get through Amazon. Just follow the link in my description and you can get a coloring book to show me how you color to how I draw. Okay, pencils first and then Sharpies. So if you don't want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out, look in the description and you'll find a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. I didn't mean for it to take off that fast, but I did mean for it to take off. I'll even include one for color. But for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself and get us going. Okay, so I'm doing Nikaido again. You know, everybody in? Everybody here? Awesome, awesome. Now the thing with this one is I'm doing a different version of her. I don't want to spoil it in case you're going to watch it, but it's something different about her. I'll just say that. Look, just watch the show, or you know, find out if you can watch the show, because it's a little adult themed. Like, there are some elements in it that are a little sexy, a little, you know, costumes that might be a little too revealing for some people, and that's okay. Maybe, you know, your parents need to check it out and see if it's okay first, and that's part of adulthood. They need to check it out and make sure that it's okay, they're okay with it. But the point is, it's a little adult sometimes, and so check it out, you know, we'll see. But the point is, there's something that happens in the episode that this could potentially be a spoiler. I mean, it's not, but how do I say it? Look, it's a different costume change. That's all I'm going to say. There's a costume change. There's a reason for the costume change, and you'll find out whenever you see it. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, but the point is, let me look at all the details. But anyway, the point is, there's some really cool costume changes and storylines, and that's why I'm doing it. And I just wanted to draw it. That's basically all it comes down to. Is it's a really cool costume change, and everybody has such cool different outfits that I felt like I wanted to really draw the different costumes. And so that's what this one is about. It's just, I liked it. That's really it. And I'm going for something different, because the first time I drew her, I drew like this really fighting pose. This really, I was going to say traditional, but this really specific fighting pose. And even though it was cool, there's a part of me that's like, oh man, I wanted to draw more. You know, I want you to be able to see more of her costume and that kind of thing. So, even though this is yet another fighting pose, this is basically another chance at it, another opportunity is the best way to say it. So, I'm thinking. So, do this. I'm kind of looking in the mirror. Yeah, let's do that. So I'm just going to close it off to a fist right here. And then close off the hand. So she's making like a fist right here. And sometimes I got to talk this through, you know, it's like, okay, do I want to do this? Do I want to do that? And talk through the actual drawing, you know? But the reason I specifically wanted to talk it through and make sure I got it right is that there's some really cool elements that I want to make sure I get in, like her bicep piece. This is like this spiky blade, I guess is the best way to say it. And it's cool on her arm right here, and that's why I want to make sure that I got it right, is what I'm trying to say. because it's one of the many elements that I liked about her costume. And again, that's kind of the whole point that I'm drawing it, is that there's some really cool elements here that I wanted to get right. And so, okay, so here is part of what I was talking about too, is that this shirt is really wide open. And so you can see her cleavage, you know, her breasts are not really exposed, but not exaggerated, highlighted, I guess. Accentuated. Her breasts are accentuated in this costume because of the design. And so that's kind of what I'm saying, is sometimes the show is a little bit adult themed. That's the best way I can say it. It's more for, you know, mature audiences, right? It's kind of like one of those. What are those shows called? Those M13. You know, it's like mature 13. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. So yeah, just make sure you can watch it before you just start watching, because I don't want you to get in trouble. And then your family might say, "Hey, you know, what are you watching?" And you're like, "Oh, it's DOROHEDORO. A strange man on the internet told me to watch it." You know, double check all that stuff before, because I don't want to get in trouble for this. But basically, I love the costume changes and all that stuff, and it's really fun. That's why I like it. And let's see. Oh, and she's got those little horns. Oh, you know what? Hang on. Before I get going, before I do that, I need to get this arm right. It's like I always tell you guys, before you start with all the detail, get the pose. Make sure the pose is there. And I did exactly what I always tell you not to do, and I started working on the details. And that's why I wanted to, let's do the old hand out like that. But that's why I wanted to say, hey, even I wouldn't say not practice what I preach, but even I get excited about my drawings. You know, I want to draw the meat and the potatoes, the best bite of the sandwich, right? That's what we're going to call it now. The best bite of the sandwich, drawing sandwich, is, you know, you want to get to. Do we want to do that like a fight, or do I want to do like a claw, like she's fighting? You know. I think this is fine. I think this is good. This kind of accents that she's in a fighting position. Strike, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. That's what I'm going for. Let's draw this one over here. Let me try to get her. And also the thing is, there's no pictures. She's got a really cool hairdo that I kind of want to make sure I get right. But it's got a certain look to it. Like all of them have a certain feel, like, to the design, and that's what I want to get right. There's something about her hair. It's kind of like real poofy on top, and I want to try to get that right. And then it goes back to the ponytail, and let's do it like, because it flies around a lot. She's back in a ponytail, and so I like the whole flappy style, you know, like, you know, kind of. We'll see what we can do here, because again, she's in the middle of a jump position. I have her kind of leaning back that way, right? Okay, now let me get these, some kind of eyes. Good, because the other trick too is she has kind of a mask on, but kind of not, right? Like, it's if you look at the masks that oh, what's his name? Shen, the bad guy. N, that N wears. It's like this thing that goes over his nose. Uh-oh, that's not right. This thing that goes over his nose. And so that's what this is. It's kind of that style too. But it's not, like there's nothing there. But anyway, I think that's good. I think I'm happy with that. I think I can start erasing the sketch and get ready for the Sharpie portion. So let me just erase some of this, because what I'm doing basically is I'm getting rid of my sketchiness and keeping my confidence. And what I mean by that is the first few lines I was putting down, I was trying to get the placement. And then I started adding the details, and as I got more confident, I started pressing harder. So when I'm erasing, those first few lines, since they were so light, they erase really easily. The confidence lines, it takes a little bit more to erase those. So if I lightly erase, I will get rid of the sketchiness and I will keep my confidence. And that's how you live your life too. You get rid of your sketchiness, you keep your confidence, and we get going. Really, that's it, you know? I ended up drawing really dark in those eyes, so let me try to erase that. Okay, I think that's good. I can see enough where we're gonna go, but I don't think that that's gonna stand out over the Sharpie, so let's welcome all the skippers and get going. Oops, I was needing my, oh well, I was needing my eraser so much it flew out of my hands. All right, let's go. Welcome skippers, welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because I do a different drawing every day. You can join along and have some fun. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen, mostly the fine point, but a pen's a little finer than the fine point. You can find things that the fine point can't quite find. I've erased the majority of the sketch. I've left enough that I can see where I'm going to go, and if you want to see more DOROHEDORO, check out that playlist there, or just check out the playlist in general, because I draw so much that I might have already drawn what you've seen, or what you want to see. So I'm going to dive right in, and you've already seen where we're going to go. I've already explained why I've got her in this position, so I'm going to start off with her eyes and the hair, because I got some of the hair flowing over the eyes. So let me see. I'm going to draw. Ooh, let's do this. Let's draw some of her hair like this. And that's going to be where the center of her head is going to be, right? Kind of where the hair is coming out, because I've got it kind of flowing by the eyes. And again, I want to make sure that I get it just right, because I want to draw like what's in front first, and then I can draw what's behind. And some of these hairlines are going to come in front of the eyes, so that's why I want to draw this first, okay? And plus, I don't want to draw through it. That's kind of why I'm doing this first. Now, it kind of gives me an idea of what I was going to do. I'm going by my sketch. So now I'm going to draw the top of her brow like this, and she's kind of, her head's kind of tilted down. Goes up like that. So now I can draw the retinas and the color part. A little bit like this, about the same size, a little bit like this, kind of looking the same way. It's so tiny that all I'm going to do for the pupil is just kind of hit the dot like that. That's it. I'm going to try to hit it in the center. That's it. If you can draw more than that, go for it. But me, I didn't want to, these are going to bleed, so I can't really go back. So what I'm going to do for the bottom part of the eye, if you want to draw it, go for it. All I can do is do that, kind of imply that there's a line going back. Right? And that's all I want to do, because like I said, this is going to bleed. For her brow, I'm going to go ahead and bring it down, because she's in kind of angry fight mode. Okay, so there. That's kind of a furrowed brow type kind of thing. Now, that's as far as I want to go with the face, because I got more hair coming down. So let me draw some more of the hairline. And she's got a very distinct hairline, and that's what I was talking about in the sketch, that it's really cool, and I want to try to capture that. I want to try to see if I can pull off the shaggy, I want to say mop, but it's not a mop, the shaggy cut of her hair, right? And, oh, and she's got horns too, because it's kind of like a what do you call it, a headband. Kind of goes back here, and then yeah, that's getting the look. That's getting the look. I'm going to draw the horns before I forget, up like this. All right, and that's good. I like it. It's still sticking with the shaggy look. You know, this lock of hair is going to be underneath. We're going to draw this one. We'll say this one too. It's going to come out, come down. This one's in front of that one. So yeah, it's that shaggy, a lot of hair look. It's hard for me to describe, but it's a very distinct. Yeah. I like that. I like that a lot. It's a very distinct look, and especially with her hair kind of in a fighting stance, not stance, motion. Like she just swung, and so that's where her hair is going. You know, I like that kind of look. You know, like her hair is kind of flowing, right? Let's see. So let's draw the bottom of her face. But the reason I wanted to do all this first is because the mask, it kind of goes over all this, but underneath the hair. Does that make sense? So I'm going to come across like this, like that. And it didn't look like it ended up going much over it, but I wanted to make sure I didn't accidentally draw through. I wanted it to look like it was on top. Is basically what I'm trying to say. And a parallel line come through like this. Okay, awesome. Now there are little like screws, super tiny like that on the nose or on the mask that I'm going to do that, but that's it. That's all I'm going to do. So now I'm going to give her a little button nose. Something like this. That's all I can do because that's all you can see. We'll go ahead and draw like the bridge just a little bit like this, just to accent that there's a bridge, you know. For her mouth, I'm going to kind of do this. Just draw this line like that because it's kind of open, but I'm going to do that with color. Like I don't want to give her a lipstick. If I were to draw it with this Sharpie, it would look like lipstick, and I don't want to do that. So let me draw her chin right here. Okay, and I'm going to come back up here for the side of her face and go up. And I'm going to start to thicken this up because as I switch over to this Sharpie, you're going to see a huge difference in line width. So I'm trying to match how it's about to look, basically. You don't have to do it if you're working with pencil. Or even if you're working with Sharpie, you don't have to do it. I'm just explaining to you why I'm drawing like this. Okay? All right, so it's looking good to me. I'm going to go ahead, again, thicken up some of my edges just to match what's about to happen. Remember, you do what you want, because this is how I draw. You draw how you draw, and we'll meet somewhere in between. All right, looking good. Okay, and she does have hair flowing back there, but I'm going to draw the parts in front first, and then we'll worry about that, okay? So, let me do this. Let me throw a piece of hair in like that, flowing up, getting that shaggy look. Now I want to do more. Man, do I want to do more, but I want to do it with color because it's blonde hair, so I shouldn't draw all the lines. Okay, so I've got her kind of tucked over just a little bit, so she does have like these, this mask with the horns and all that. It goes around her chin too, not her chin, around her neck as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. That's all you can see of it, okay? Because her shirt's open, and let me see if there's like something else on there. I can't tell. No, doesn't look like it. Okay, but her shirt's a little open, so at this angle, I almost forgot something. There's a big part of this is a belt going across. I almost forgot that. So let me draw over to her arm. I gotta draw her arm first. You always do what's in front first, and then you can draw what's underneath, because that way you don't accidentally draw through the top when you're drawing the underneath parts, right? So I'm gonna draw her her collar up a little bit like this, okay, and then her shoulders coming down here, and there is like a seam and like a little snap type thing that's almost like a aviator's shirt. You ever seen a pilot shirt that got the little... Anyway, the cool thing about this, the reason I want to draw these costumes is because she's got this little armband blade thing. It's really cool. Like this. And I'm exaggerating, it's not quite this big, but again, that's why I wanted to draw this, because it's really cool and really battle type, you know? Okay, and her arm is a little raised up, so the forearm is going to be like this. I know I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but I'm following my sketch because, see the forearm, it kind of comes over like that. I want to make sure I draw, again, what's in front before you draw what's behind. And that way, it all looks like one continuous piece, right? We didn't accidentally go too far, and all of a sudden, oh no, that's the forearm. Well, planning, my friend. That's why you always plan what you're gonna do, and you can, look at that. I always mess up and do something like that. It's gonna be her shirt. We'll do that. So much for planning, right? There's a seam going up like this. Oops, that's that's what you don't want to do. Okay, I'm gonna put some bends in her sleeve right here. Okay, that's an armband, so I don't have to put anything in there. It's gonna be done with color. All right, so let's go ahead and do her fist. I've got her fist. Ooh, you know what? We can do her hair because I'm done. I'm done with what's back there. Let's do the fist, then I'll do the hair. The fist is just gonna be like this, just kind of in a fight stance, right? So knuckles up like this. Knuckles are going this way. Fingers are going down. There's the first finger, the pinky finger, like that. See, because it's in a fist, is basically that. Okay. And it's a glove, so there's not much else we can really draw. Maybe we'll draw like a seam, like this. But the knuckles are pretty much taking over the rest. That's all you can see. All right. Close up that sleeve. Let's add a little bit of texture bends. If it's a cloth, I love adding creases and folds. Man, I love creases and folds. Okay, so our hair is kind of flowing back. Let's pull a piece back like this, piece back like that, and then the rest I'm going to flow back this way. So some of it I've got flowing down like this, because it all flows back, and so this is going to be flowing down, this is going to be flowing this way. Okay. Okay, kind of like that. Does that make sense? Okay, so I've got different pieces flowing out. Does that make sense? I'm kind of flowing it that way. It's kind of going out that way. So let's do this. How about I don't want to draw all the lines because again, it's supposed to be blonde hair, but I got to draw something. So if I'm going to flow a big chunk like this, I want one piece going up like that. So I'm going to go right in the middle, flow it up like that. A little crooked, but that's okay. That happens. Okay, piece of hair, so it's just flying up. This one's coming down. It's gonna go underneath this one, and then pick right back up over here, and flow up like that, okay? That way we've got some flowing hair to make up for the way that, look, I went too thick there, but that's okay. I'll just thicken up some more lines. Just the way it's flowing in an action pose, you know? That, then maybe we'll do, I know I'm floating some, just hang on, bear with me. There, like that. And that way we'll do like some flowing hair, you know? But I do want to thicken it up like I was talking about, because see how thick this is? I want to thicken up these lines just to kind of match and to show that it's an outline. The thicker my outline, the more it's standing out, I feel. Maybe I'm wrong. Thing is, it's my show, and in my show I'll be wrong. I don't care. I don't care. Well, okay, I take it back. I care. It just doesn't bother me. I don't mind being wrong, because you know what? It's impossible to say you're always right, and there's no need to always say you're right. You know, it's just, let's just have fun. That's all it is. We're having fun. All right. I love that hair. I'm going to stick with it like that. I'm going to keep going over this way. Now, her shirt is open. I'm going to go ahead and draw it down and bring it to a close, kind of, so to speak, like that. And I'll continue down here as we go. The reason I want to stop is because there is a belt going across. I got to make sure I draw that first. So I'm going to bring it down like this. And I don't think there's like a buckle or something. Let me double check. I can't tell. Oh, it's down here. There is like some kind of connecting seam type kind of thing. She does have another collar open like that. So around it, I'm going to do kind of something like this. That way we can say that it's going underneath like that. And there's the other collar down like this, like that edge. And that's going to go to where it closes right there, but we can't see because of the way it's open. Okay. And so this shoulder is up here. Let me, should I give you the waist so you see where we are? Or just do the shoulder? Let's do the shoulder. We're here. So this shoulder's up here like this. There's that little thing we drew right there. We're gonna make it super tiny like that. Coming over here, there's her shoulder. Then here's her breast. Coming out like this. And I've got her hunched over just a little bit. So I'm going to wrinkle up her material because her waist is kind of, her chest is over her waist because she's kind of hunched over, right? So I get to draw a bunch of wrinkles and folds. So I'm going to do that. And then I've got her kind of flowing this way a little bit. Now that belt, I'm going to draw it in like this, come up this way. And it looks like just a regular old belt, nothing too crazy. There are some ends on it that, let's see, like there's a big, like I want to say clasp, right? Like this, another one down here. Probably should have done it with the tiny Sharpie. And that's where this connects. So I'm going to bring it down here like that. There. So that's what I wanted to make sure that I drew all that first before I drew lines and all that stuff, so I don't accidentally draw through that belt, because I want the belt to look like it's on top. What's funny is that belt is going to end up being pretty much black, so it was almost pointless to do, but I knew why I was doing it, and I knew why I wanted to do it. And plus, black and white looks cool. We got something to draw, you know? Let's go ahead and draw the rest of her waist, and I'm going to draw the creases and folds like I was talking about. Now her shirt is open, so this is all skin. So she does have a larger breast, large chest, so I'm going to draw some of her breast like this, some coming in like that, and then we're going to say you can see her clavicle like that. Draw the other line over there, and that's all skin, right? So you can see the bones, the breasts, but that's it. No hard edges. I shouldn't even be drawing that, but you know, we're drawing like a costume and skin, so we're kind of playing around with what you can and can't see. And again, I've got her really crunched and hunched over, so it's really stressing her material here. Really stressing the material, really bending it, you know. Same thing here, a few lines, a few creases. All right, cool, awesome. This is coming out great. Okay, so same thing, armband over here. So I'm gonna have her shoulder down to the armband, like that. I'm gonna draw the armband down bottom here, and now it's coming through the top there. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw it first. There. Then I'm going to draw the armed edge back behind it. So again, draw what's in front first, then when you draw what's behind, you don't draw through it, right? Planning, guys. It's all about planning. And girls, sorry. All right, because that's cloth, I like to show that it's bent, right? Okay, so this hand is just out because she's almost like in a karate chop pose. So it's just cloth. That's all we're doing again. So I'm going to draw to the elbow. Then I'm going to draw the forearm. The cuff. All right. Thick line, so let me add that. Let me add those lines, the creases, so you can see where we are or have some fun with it, basically. That's what I like about cloth, is that we can draw bunch of wrinkles in it to show that it's bending. You know, as the body is bending, so is the cloth. Hard edges, no cloth, no bends, right? Okay. Anything I should close like that right there? Looks good. Everything else looks great. Okay, this hand, we're just gonna have it out because again, she was just kind of in a wah kind of fight. So we're just gonna draw this basically. So I'm gonna draw the bottom of the thumb up like this, and then connect it to the hand, fingers, and that's all we're really gonna draw. I'll go ahead and draw like a middle finger because that's extended a little bit more, but that's all you're gonna see because everything is so, you know, what do you call it? Flat in this position. That's all we can see, so that's all we're worried about. Maybe I'll do like this, a little bit of lines to exaggerate. You know, kind of give it a little bit of the detail, you know, like, again, cloth detail because it's a glove. All right, so the rest of her is pretty much just pants, right? So I've got her bent over on this leg here. So let's go ahead and draw it. And so this leg is gonna look a little weird stubby because the knee is bent towards you more, okay? So it's a little foreshortened. So instead of a straight leg like this one out, this one is bent, okay? So that being said, I'm gonna draw her hip. There's a pocket over here, down to the knee. Then this side, let's draw this side so you can see how it's sticking out. Let's draw that little pocket. It's a flap. There. This one's gonna go out this way. Again, bends for the material being creased. There's the knee out this way into the boot, or the boot cap, because it's like this thing around her shoe. Okay, and so that's where this one goes. So this is the back of the leg, back in this way. Then again, see the knee's about the same place, but this one's a little foreshortened. So, bend the boot right there, and we're gonna say the knee is something like that, okay? So let me draw some lines from where her material is being stretched and creased. And let me draw some more with the smaller one. Those are just kind of exaggerated big lines, but I'll draw some more with the small Sharpie because again, I can, you know. And plus, when she's really in a big karate position like this, she's really stressing out the material right there in the crotch. So I'm bending the cloth a lot more. Okay. Okay, cool. Let's do some here. Something like that. And remember, you don't have to draw every single line exactly like I do. This is how I draw. You draw how you draw, and we'll meet somewhere in between. Because this is me just giving you a guide. This is like trying to figure out, let's roughly do stuff like this to get that look. You do what you need, okay? So her shoes, she's got regular old like basketball shoes. Sports shoes, I guess. They're not basketball shoes, but there's a covering over them, like this. Okay. Then you can see the heel down to the front toe, like that. Okay. So that being said, I'll add some more detail. We're gonna do the same thing over here, but remember, foreshortened. The knee is towards you. That's kind of bent to the back. So, you know, this is a little lower, but that's the idea, okay? So it's gonna look a little stubby if that's all you looked at, right? But with the overall picture, yeah, it works, right? Front of the shoe. All right. So again, like that may look a little stubby, but you know, all together, perfect. Okay, so let's add again some creases and folds, just because we know that it's there. Let me try to put some detail in the shoe. I wonder if I can find a picture of the actual shoe. Yeah, there's not a bad one. There's not a bad one. You know what is a bad one? My speaking. Oh, Evan and Caitlin, you ever watch them? They make things, and I love their channel. They've got a great saying, words are hard. They absolutely are hard. They've got a great t-shirt that says that too. Alright, so there it's kind of like a sneaker, you know? I'm not gonna do that. Let's do the front of this one. Like this. That we'll do a little one like there. So there you go. I say we take care of the rest with color. So that is Nikaido from DOROHEDORO. So here's how I colored it. Tell me what you think in the comments below, or show me what you did in our Discord group. Just have fun and make it your own, because remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw, and we'll meet somewhere in between. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures with How I Draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button for new videos.